before, we're going to transfer it onto our pan. Normally we just let this cool off for a little bit. I don't want to keep it. Hey foodies, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a live screening session. We're going to be making some jerk pork tenderloin wrapped in bacon, and we're also going to be making a warm quinoa salad. Right now that's what we're going to be having for you. So just sit back. If you end up liking the video, remember to like, share and subscribe. We'll go straight into it. So we have a piece of pork tenderloin right here. So the first thing you want to do is remove it from the packet. And then the pork tenderloin, this part of the meat comes from the loin of the pork. So this part, it contains little to no fat. So normally 2 pieces will come like this. So what you want to do now, you want to remove the silver lining from the pork tenderloin. So we're just going to take off some of the lining. Even though this is pretty clean, it's pretty clean cut, not a lot of work to do, but we're going to remove some of the lining. Just going to get this out of the way. Alright, so the silver lining now, if you don't remove the silver lining, it's going to make the meat tough. So we're going to take off that piece of it. We're going to trim it up nicely. Make sure the knife is sharp though. Alright, this looks good enough, so we're going to rinse this bad boy up and then we're going to season it and we're going to sear it off first. And then the reason why we're going to sear it is because when the pork is being cooked, it's going to shrink, it's going to get smaller. So you want to sear it before you wrap it into the bacon. Alright, so for the seasoning, we're going to season it into a small bowl. So we want to use a dry seasoning first. So we're adding some all-purpose seasoning. We're adding some salt, not too much because the jerk seasoning contains salt as well. We're also adding in some dry jerk seasoning powder. And then we're going to add the wet jerk seasoning. We're going to be adding maybe a tablespoon of jerk seasoning. So we're going to marinate this. Make sure you get all of the seasoning right into the meat. And then we're going to let this marinate for about 30 minutes in the cooler. So we're going to set this aside. Alright, so we have our stove going. So we have a nice heavy cast iron pot. We're going to go ahead and heat this up, and then we're going to sear off the pork. Alright, so we're just going to dabble a little bit of oil into it. And we're going to wait until it's nice and hot so that when the pork hits the pan, it begins to sear. We develop a nice crust on the outside. So we're going to make sure that the pan is hot as it can get. Alright, we've seen a little bit of smoke, so let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and add the pork to the pan. Alright, so we're just going to sear them on both sides for about 4 minutes. Alright, so things are still a little bit smoky. We have the fan going. I think this is best. This recipe is best to do it outside, or at least ensure that you have all of the windows open. So now we're gonna go ahead and take out the bacon. So we're just gonna leave this here. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and lay out the bacon. Don't worry about them overlapping, that's alright. You know, the funny thing about it is that I don't even eat pork. But this recipe, it was a requested recipe, so I'm gonna make this for you guys, and I hope this is something that you like, and I hope that you can watch this video and give it a like and share it with a friend. Okay. One more. Alright, so we're going to start the rolling at this part. So, you're just going to use the knife to catch it. Oops. Let's take out this. Alright, let's bring out our stove again and we're gonna place this in the oven. So like I said before, we're gonna transfer it onto our pan. And we're using the wrap side, we're gonna place in that side of it down. So now we have some guava jam and I place this in the oven. I put this in the microwave for 30 seconds. So this is guava jam. And I feel like even though I don't eat pork, based upon the flavoring of pork or how it flavors, I think it will go good with guava jam or something sweet. If you don't have jam, you can also use honey as well. So we're gonna smother it with some guava jam and we're gonna put this in the oven and we're gonna bake it until it cooks. We're not gonna do medium rare, we're not gonna do medium, we're gonna be cooking it until it's well done. So we're gonna place this in the oven now. So it looks like. So now that we have the pork in the oven, let's work on the quinoa. And we're gonna be using 2 cups of water to a cup of quinoa. And then we're gonna be using a teaspoon of salt. And then we're just gonna let this cook for about 15 minutes. So while this is cooking, let's work on the veggies that will go in the quinoa. And this is going to be a cold salad by the way. So we're gonna let this cook for about 15 minutes. Alright, so we have our cutting board. It's clean and sanitized. We also have our veggies. These have also been washed and cleaned. So we're gonna break these down. So we won't be using a lot of it though, because it's only 1 cup of quinoa. The important thing about cutting your veggies, you want to make sure that everything is unique. You don't want to cut some too small and some too big. Alright, so we have this going for a while now, so it's ready. You can see that it's a little bit more translucent. So we're going to go ahead now and strain it off to remove the excess moisture. Alright, so now let's work on the veggies. So we're going to be adding in about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. We're going to be using it to saute the veggies that we cut up. We're not going to be cooking this too much, we're just going to be cooking it for about maybe 2 minutes tops. We just want them to be nice and al dente. Add a pinch of salt. Add a tablespoon of water. Alright, so our veggies, they're ready. So we're going to set this aside, let it cool. Then we're going to combine everything and then show you what the quinoa salad looks like. Okay, foodie, let's bring everything now together. So we have a bowl. We're going to be adding in our quinoa. We also have the cooked veggies that we had before. Make sure we get out everything. We also have some diced avocados. We have some diced tomatoes. We have some scallions. We have some hot pepper sauce. And the hot pepper sauce, that's gonna give it that nice diced kick. We have some poppy seed dressing. And we also have some sesame oil. So we're just gonna combine everything. Now this has a very interesting smell, it has a very interesting aroma, and I'm sure the taste is just gonna be the same. So I'm now gonna go ahead and blend it out. So there you have it, guys. This is what the quinoa salad looks like. Ooh, thank you guys for sticking around to the end. So the pork is done. I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Normally we just let this cool off for a little bit, but I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this bad boy up. This is very hot. And as I said before, I'm gonna be making this well done. But if you like, you can always cook it medium rare, medium. Ooh, so hot. There you go, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.